We're at the Connections Conference. We're with Farooq Muzaffar of Verizon. Verizon, you just spoke about going from a connected home to a smart home. Why don't you tell us a little bit about what you meant by that?
Sure. So I think that what we have today is basically connected home, which is great devices, great experiences, but very sort of siloed individual use cases. And going to a smart home really means a home that you have sort of a sophisticated, interactive experience with, and that it's sort of fully integrated. It doesn't really need to prompt you for every single question, and it's sort of self-learning. So I think that's the difference between a smart home and a connected home.
And that makes a lot of sense. It really truly reacts to the needs and I guess the patterns and behavior of individuals, right?
Yeah. So I think it needs to be self-learning and sort of understand what things are important, because every person sort of interacts with their home slightly differently. I mean, there are some things there we're all I'm sure everybody cares about. So if your home's broken into, or if you have a water leak, you want to know. But your day-to-day interaction varies widely. So what you do when you come home, what are the first things that you like to do versus what doors and windows do you lock and what lights do you leave on when you leave. Those kind of behaviors are unique for individuals, and I think a smart home needs to be self-learning, so it can pick up on that and then sort of prompt you and say, hey, do you want me to do this every time that you leave or you come in, or every time you turn on the TV I want to dim the lights, or what have you. So that way it's self-learning and it adapts to your needs over time.
Which leads to probably this revelation you had, which is mobile first, right?
Yeah, I think this idea of mobile first is sort of widespread, not just in the connected home space. And I think it started off more as a design question initially, but I think what's really, to me, what mobile first really come to mean is that reimagining, rethinking a part of the industry, the way that certain services are used and bought from a consumer perspective, with the idea of they have a mobile phone in their pocket, which gives you a lot of information about who they are and what they're doing and what their intent is, and then all of the technology that is now so cheap that you can embed processing and connectivity everywhere. I think that leads to the ability for us to really rethink entire processes that we have today. So how do you interact with your car? How do you interact with your home? How do you consume entertainment? All of these can be sort of rethought from a mobile first approach. And I think the companies that we see in the Valley that are really transforming almost entire segments of the economy, whether it's like Uber or Airbnb or others, I think they're doing that. That's where the power is that they're sort of rethinking both the business models and the processes for their given space from a mobile first point of view. That's very powerful.
And obviously this fits into Verizon's wheelhouse as far as you're mobile, you've got fixed infrastructure, but it's interesting you mentioned the Valley, and you're actually here in the Valley, right?
Yeah, so Verizon actually has a fairly substantial presence here in the Valley. We have an office in Palo Alto where we do a lot of development around big data. We do ventures investment. We also do strategy work out of that office, strategy and partnerships. And then we have our video development team in San Jose, right by the airport, which is a fairly large office and significant investment for us. And then we have an innovation center here in San Francisco, right off of Spear Street, where we do a lot of co-innovation with some of our partners in the mobile space.
So I'd imagine you've got that mix of innovation here, but then you also have the real world data that you're getting from implementing some of this stuff in the field for several years now, right?
Yeah, we've been in the broadband and connected home space for years. We pioneered fiber to the home with Fios, and we've had various iterations of connected home services on top of that, besides broadband, video, and voice. So yeah, we've been in this space for quite a while.
So it looks like there's exciting times ahead when you mix those two worlds together then.
Yeah, definitely. I think this is, convergence is more than just about, it's more than just about some of the services coming together. I think, entire parts of the economy are coming together as, and technology is sort of table stakes for any part of the economy now. It used to be you have an IT shop, or, you have a part of the business that is focused on technology. But I think for most parts of the economy, if you're not really thinking about how to sort of think your business with the latest technology in mind, you're going to get left behind. So it's just sort of natural.
Yeah, it makes sense. It's just like electricity and anything else. It becomes a fundamental.
That's right. That's right. Great.
Farooq, appreciate your time.
Thank you very much.